So we have closed out the DWR bond law grant for the wells. That was the last payment that we received it this last month, and that finishes out that $400,000 for the wells. So USDA is closed, DWR is closed, State Water Board is closed. All of the grants for the well project are completed. The only outstanding invoice is still with the IRWIMP program that's been submitted and should be they should be cutting a check anytime soon, and that was for reimbursement request number 4, and that's shown in the receivables. The Ranchito well, Elizabeth has completed the final plans and specs for that project. We went back and forth a number of times. on that to get it where we need it. I think it's going to be, it's going to come in under our competitive, our limit for bidding as an informal bid, because that's been changed. The state has changed the bidding limits for districts participating in the Cost Accounting Act.
Construction.
Yeah, I just can't remember the formal name for it. Anyway, as long as the project is not 60,000 or more, then we can negotiate a contract. In other words, we can get informal bids from different contractors and negotiate that contract with them, or we can go out and do a formal informal bid process. In other words, send it out to a number of contractors, get a bid price back, and then award it to the lowest bidder. So we can go about it either way. I'm trying to get an initial estimate. I thought I'd have it today of what that cost would be to make sure it's within our budget and cash flow capabilities and everything else.
Do you need a board approval to go out for informal bidding, or can you just do it and bring it back to us?
Yeah, it's highly likely that we're going to want to have a special meeting just to at least award this contract. So hopefully we can, if we've got actions related to the houseboat, the contract on this, we can do them both at the same time.
Okay.
But that project is ready to go out to bid. I just was looking to get an initial estimate to see where it lands in our budget. And
if my memory, it's just building a vault for connection and metering, correct?
It's actually above ground, so it's going to be similar to the way the other ones were constructed. Everything is above ground and supported, insulated, painted, connects in below ground, and has a new meter. And anyway, it's not a huge amount of work installing the new fence. Electrical, the controls are all there.
Yeah. So I would. What do you estimate?
Probably 15,
That's
18.
I wouldn't say we don't have. I say under 20.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's go, because that thing's. When did we get that well back in the ground? How long has it been
It's
sitting
been
there?
probably 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long delay.
So yeah, we just in December we got the plans and specifications for that. That is not going to be an issue anymore. You know, Elizabeth was on her way out, retiring for whatever reason, but we've got Blackwater Engineering on board. And if we need plans and specs within a couple months or a month period, we'll just let them know that. and they'll get on it, get it done. Just trying to think of all the other exciting stuff we've been working on, but anyway, that's, I think that'll wrap it up and let Randy jump in.
Let me go back and ask you, the initial agenda had, you were looking for Norwich to come in and do the line replacements. We resolved that issue and the low bidder is getting the contract now?
Yeah, I mean, the low bidder has to get the contract. I could have pushed it and terminated the contract with them because they couldn't get their bonds to us.
Okay.
But it was because they're getting their bonds through this Small Business Administration that's been affected by the closure.
So-
but anyway, they've got everything that they need.
And we're good to go?
Yep, we're issuing the notice to proceed effective today.
And who's proceeding?
It is Sierra Communications and Construction, the low bidder.
And they're gonna come in, they're bringing all their own equipment?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So are they also gonna be available to do, I'll say, well, we won't have to do any other leak replacements. If we have a leaky line, we can just say that's what you need to do now? And
We can. However, if we give them an address list, which they've asked for the address list, we'll be giving them exactly 130 addresses, and if we change them, we have to understand we might have 6 on a block that they had planned on, and then they got to do 4 on a block, pull off, get materials over to another location, do that, and they come back. They'll probably want a change order. However, we'll do it and see what the change order cost is compared to what we're currently paying.
Yeah, that's where I'm going, because I know they're bringing all their equipment, correct? We're not gonna provide them a
Right.
dump truck or a tractor or anything like that. So what is their average cost compared to Norwich?
Like I said, that it's because the bid has,
No, I realize that. I know we're gonna give.
it's higher.
They're higher
Yeah.
than Norwich?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much?
Like I said, we will get, if we've got a leak that they've got to deal with, we'll calculate what that difference is.
No, I'm just saying here.
I'm sorry, Danny, had you called me yesterday, I could have calculated it, but
Well, it
I
might be
don't-
something we bring back and educate us, because what I'm saying is, if we look at, if Norwich isn't substantially lower for us allowing them to use our equipment, something like that, we need to factor that in to say, okay, you know, so,
The dump truck.
The dump truck.
you know, that's what I'm saying, we're paying for that and the maintenance and everything on it, so what is that value worth? Is it worth $100 an hour? I don't know, I'm just saying, I'm looking to you to give us the estimate of the value for what we're getting, the bang for our buck. And if we need to bring Norwich in and have them fix a leak because it's more cost effective, then let's do that.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
but I want a comparison of apples to oranges or apples to apples, so I know what we're getting and what the district's paying for.
Yeah, we want apples to apples.
Okay.
Which means because the cost that Norwich is billing now does not include the removal and replacement of the asphalt trench patch, I have to take that, I have to get a bid from them for that replacement, because I don't want to just plug in the replacement cost for the new contractor and assume it's going to be the same, because so I've got to have a per square foot or per ton replacement number from Norwich that I can add to their average cost, which is about $2,500. So,
Okay.
it might be 3,000 compared to 5,000, whatever, but I can definitely, I can explain what that is.
Yeah.
Because there will be, there will be a decision to make whether we do a change order with them or have Nearage continue to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna wanna get in here really quick and get it done, aren't they? I mean,
Yes.
it's not gonna be long that they're gonna be here, not like weeks and months.
Yeah, it'll be every day of the week between now and the end of June.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, that's the amount of time that they have.
but
I
if
don't
they get done
know
quicker,
that-
they're making money, right?
Yeah, right. If they get 3 of them done a day and it takes them a month and a half, then that would be great.
Okay, so I'm a little unclear on my direction now. So if we get a leak, am I still calling Norwich, or do I not call Norwich no more?
You are for right now because they're not even, those other guys aren't even mobilized.
Okay, but if they are mobilized and they're all working over there and we got a leak at the golf course, who do I call?
Right now, you're calling Nearage until we determine what their exact cost is going to be.
Okay.
What their cost is for doing that work compared to what Nearage's would be. As long as Nearage may not want to honor the same price, because we don't have a time and materials contract with them that fixes that price. But I think they will. I mean, the work has been good for them. So, but it doesn't take board action.
No.
Because we're not authorizing a contract, it's just whether we're using the contractor and which contractor. We hope that the guy that's out here is good enough that just says, yeah, we'll just, we'll get to that tomorrow instead of today, and it won't be a change order.
Right.
And it won't be more expensive, it'll be the same or less. That would be the most convenient.
But if they've got a timeline and stuff, they're gonna wanna, if they go over the timeline by doing your extra stuff, right, they're gonna say, wait a minute, if there's rain days, delays. So I don't think they're gonna wanna do that very much.
You have to, the contract would be extended.
Right.
If they go to 135, 140, 145, whatever it is, there will be, for every change order that's executed, there'll be a revised schedule. So instead of 97 days, it might be 105 days.
I think we should use Irish.
It seems to me that we ought to just, if it's pulling them out of what they're working on, seems to me we ought to just go with Nyrich.
Yeah.
And
They've got they may have other projects that they're trying to do after this. I can't see where it could be. But anyway, that's a management
Yeah,
decision.
that's
I
right.
don't micromanage what you guys do. So.
Well, we want to make sure we're making the right decision too,
Sometimes you don't have the crystal ball.
But this definitely tells you that competitive bidding, when people say, well, you didn't bid that out, how can you get the right price? Well, you don't always get the best price with competitive bidding. I'll tell you, in today's construction environment, it's really bad. But
How long have those guys been around?
they've done a lot of work in the past, and they slowed way down for the last couple of years, and then they ramped back up about a year and a half ago.
They're out of Sonora or something?
So I don't know.
Where are they out of?
They're at Cathys Valley.
Oh.
Anything else, Pete?
No.